Morning, folks. Haven't been doing anything very exciting here lately. It's been the weather's been kind of bad, and just been fixing fences and doing things like that, and still got more to do there. But I've been working on a bumper for Cindy's Jeep. It doesn't have anything here at all. When we bought this spare tire mount was bolted directly to the back of the Jeep, and it kind of broke the thing loose. It's got a crack here and it's cracked on the ends, and so I built this frame here a couple of years ago to support it and moved it from the tailgate itself and welded it to this, but that didn't work out so well. It has vibrated and it tore holes in the frame, or the body of it, on both sides. This one's really bad. I'm going to have to fix that. And so I've been working on this bumper, and I didn't figure anybody'd really have much interest in that, but there's a lot of people that like Jeeps, so I'll show it anyway. This is what I did on mine. Now what I got is a piece of square tubing, and I cut a hole in it and put a receiver hitch in there. And because mine has a tailgate, I needed a spare tire mount. Because mine has a tailgate, I put another receiver straight up and down here. Let's see, get a stick. Straight up and down right here. And so this piece is removable. It just slides out, and then I can open my tailgate if I need to. Or I could put the spare tire in the front, although it's wide enough that it blocks my headlights, so I can't really do that. The 5-hole mount itself is from my old truck, that cream colored one I had. I broke an axle years ago, and 5-hole Ford is the same as a Jeep, so I just cut that off and then welded it to the top of this pipe here, and it made a great spare tire mount. It's got a little bit of wobble to it, but not too bad. This piece here, I welded that on as kind of an afterthought and put this pin in it, and what I'm going to do with that is a boat rack or whatnot. This piece of pipe here, it fits just right in there, just right, like that, and then I can come up here like that to a T and have a boat ramp and maybe a coyote skinning arm and that sort of thing. Well, anyway, let's run down to the barn here and I'll show you what I've got so far. So this is what I've got so far. Like I said, I probably should have started this and filmed this sooner, but I took this square pipe and just cut a hole in it on both sides, and then stuck that receiver hitch through it and welded it. And then to plug the ends of the holes, I cut a round half circle here and fitted the piece of pipe on either end, and then welded that up to seal it. And then that I can put a rack into for like a boat or whatever else we want to do, maybe a umbrella or something in the summertime. So next I need to drill and cut a plate right here that'll go over this whole thing here, and then bolt that to the truck. Then there's a strap right here and on the other side that has 2 holes in it, and then that part will be done. And then because she doesn't have a tailgate on hers, I'm going to weld a pipe here instead of the receiver hitch. It won't be able to come off. It'll just be a straight up pipe. And then I've got this. The junkyard didn't have a 5-hole Ford. They had them, but they were still in the trucks, and they didn't want to split them up because they could sell the whole axle that way, and tube and all. And this one they gave to me, but the holes, it was 5-hole, but the holes are too short. It doesn't, the bolt pattern wasn't right, so I ended up burning some holes in it and then welded some bolts on the back side. It doesn't look all that great, but I think once it's painted it'll be alright. I don't really care for all these extra holes. I might find something to plug those with, but anyway, that'll go basically like this on top of that bumper there, kind of like I did on mine. Well, that is the plate that attaches the bumper for the most part. There'll be two straps on either end of the bumper, but this is cut out for the receiver hitch, and then those 6 holes go right there. Got everything's pretty well squared up and put into place. Now I just got to weld it up. Got that tacked. I messed up on my measurements and I cut that hole too big, so I'll have to weld this into place and cut it off, fill that gap. Anyway, I can take it off now. I got it tacked, or it should be. One nice thing about metal, if you screw up, you can weld it back on. Well, that was the hole that I needed to fill in. Let's see what the other side looks like. This side doesn't look as good. That's the side that's going to show too, but it'll work alright. Okay, so that part is all pretty much done. Get my grinder and kind of knock off some of the burrs and things and go from there. Well, that doesn't look so bad now that it's cleaned up and ground down a little bit. Got a little bit of pitting, but not too bad. It'll have a kind of a rib right there anyway to help support the spare tire mount. So those, as soon as I clean them up just a little bit, they should fit. The other one's down on the ground, and those will go right here to tie in the bottom of the, or the end of the bumper. Spare tire mount, I went 17 inches long this way. That'll clear the receiver hitch by 2 or 3 inches. This thing here, that's to get the level, so I know where to cut the shaft here off at. I'll mark this and then cut it off and tack weld it. Everything there looks pretty close to level. I mean, it's got to be straight because of this piece, and then I can weld that to the bumper. I think I'll bolt it on first so I can make sure it looks straight up and down. And that's how it turned out. Hopefully my welds are good and the spare tire doesn't come off and go bouncing down the road. They don't look too bad. I think it'll work. So let's see what it looks like with the tire on it. It looks like there'd be enough room on either side of that tire to mount a gas can, which would be nice. I don't like it sticking out to the side this way. Too many trees and things you can brush it off on. And these things, they used to be made pretty good. They're not anymore. This is about this new. Look at this. It's cracked here. And it's broke loose on the bottom. I'll have to fix that anyway. I might as well put them back here in the back. Do a little differently. So now I gotta do a front bumper. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.